an ordinary bowl of horrible baby food. It's actually pumpkin pie pudding. Oh, I should have surgery every day.
Building skyscrapers in the sky. Run to the house before we die. IndieCraft.
Hello, welcome back to IndieCraft. This is episode 80 in season 3. So today we're going to be doing a request from BizkwitFilms, who has asked me to make a nuclear reactor for the town, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and grab out some fancy stuff right here. Maybe some of this, some of this, some of this, and we're probably going to need some lava too to really get into this. So, excusez-moi. Let's go outside and start building ourselves one great power plant for this whole town, which I've decided is just going to be kind of a ginormous structure that somewhat resembles, has lava and everything. Okay, it won't look like anything, but it'll look cool, and that's what matters. What the heck? Oh, I forgot I built this. This is so cool. I love this place. Anyways, so let's go ahead and fly back out here. It's gonna be kind of looming over the town, kind of in the distance. So, anyways, I have had quite the spectacular week, you might say. Earlier on this week, I was viciously torn into with some knives and other small tools in order to remove certain parts of my body for science. That is a much cooler way, of course, of saying I have my wisdom teeth removed from my body. It was not fun, and it's still not fun. My mouth still hurts quite a bit, so hopefully I'll make this video alright. If I don't, do tell my mother I love her. So yeah, it has been, I would say it's one of the worst things in my life up to this date, actually. I mean, since Tuesday morning, I have had to do nothing but sit around, sleep, rewatch all the Star Trek movies, and to top all that off, I had to eat ice cream. I have to eat, like, this awful pumpkin pie pudding. Oh, and macaroni and cheese. I mean, like, that is about all I can eat right now. And I drink chocolate milk. It has just been, in all honesty, I don't think I could endure this again. This has been one of the hardest things in my life. I mean, this has been really hard. So I hope you all can sympathize a little bit, because I know it's hard to sympathize if you've not been through something like this, and you've probably all been, you know, getting up every day all week, you know, going to work or going to school all day long until late in the evening, coming home, and just cramming in that homework or that extra bit of work you weren't able to get done that day. And although that may seem hard, do understand that some of us have just slept all week, and that is not an easy task either, in all honesty. So please remember me whenever you are having a good time, and remember that, you know, if you think you're having a rough day, you've not had nearly as rough a day as I've had. So if you remember that, you'll be all right. Okay, good. We on the same page now, because it's been tough. In all honesty, it hasn't been that good. Good things about it. One of those good things was definitely not rewatching Star Trek 4 and 5. Oh my gosh. Ugh. It's like, I don't want to be rude, but Star Trek, like, I don't like Gene Roddenberry at all. And that is I am like the worst Star Trek fan ever. Like, I really do love Star Trek. I do. Like, a lot. I love Star Trek, and I like lots of Gene Roddenberry stuff, but it's like, sometimes he had, like, some agenda he wanted to get across, which is, like, frequently he had some agenda you wanted to get across. And it usually just makes the show end up not being that good. Like, Star Trek 4 is, like, the worst Trek movie, I think, ever. One of the worst, like, my least favorite movies ever. And it's probably not because it's the worst, like, the worst movie ever. It's just because it's a movie I hate involving, like, my favorite franchise ever. So it makes it worse in my book. So sometimes it's just like, and then, you know what? I don't like early Next Generation, which is when Roddenberry was still alive. He died after third season. And the show got a lot better then. I'm not saying anything, but, you know, there could be some connection. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I am saying something. But and you know he did a. I'm not happy Kirk existed. No, I'm kidding. I do like Kirk actually. It's impossible not to like Kirk. I mean, come on, it's Kirk. He's so good. He's so much fun. Spock was a lot better though. So you know, oh well. There are a lot of great things in the original series. McCoy and it's just so long since I've watched him. I forgot how awesome McCoy was in the movie, and like I love him in the movies a lot. And in the show, I don't really feel like he gets like as much like screen time as he should have. Now he got a lot of screen time in the 5th Star Trek movie, but that was just a terrible movie. That's probably the worst of the movie. No, I think 4 is like my least favorite. I hate that one so much. But oh my gosh, it's been that was the hardest part about this whole ordeal with getting surgery and getting all this work done on my. That was the hardest part, was rewatching those movies. I never did make it to Star Trek 6, and I probably won't have the opportunity to, unfortunately. But Star Trek 6 is very good, and it was a good ending to the whole. I'll call it the ending because it's really the last original series movie. You have Generations, but Generations was yeah. So you had Generations, but it's really like the last good original series movie. So Generations is more of a next gen movie, anyways, featuring the old cast, you know, showing up, basically Kirk. It has been so long till I watched it, I can't remember who else showed up in that movie, but it doesn't really matter because it wasn't that good. So, you know, Generations, we can skip. Most of the, actually, are any of the next gen movies good? I'm trying to think of a single next gen movie that I liked. Okay, this is my, they say everyone has like a guilty pleasure movie, or something guilty pleasure. This is definitely mine. I love First Contact, and I know everything wrong with it. I know how everyone says it's very widely hated. And I understand, and I agree with pretty much anyone's point on why that movie has so many problems with it, everything they do in that movie, and it has all these issues, and how stupid lots of the stuff is in it. But there is something about that movie I just love, and I know I have issues. I have them a lot, but I just like that movie, and I can't help it. There's something about First Contact that I love, and it is embedded in my mind. I think it's one of those things, like, you see it when you're a child, so it's stuck. It's one of the things, it's like just like a memory because you love it for no real good reason. So it's probably that, because it's just, I understand everything wrong with it. I just love it still. I cannot help it. I just love that movie. So, but other than that, I think Insurrection was actually my favorite next-gen movie. In fact, that was the best of the whole Star Trek, of all Star Trek movies. So, that was the best. Insurrection. Yep. It was awesome. You know, Picard's, that amazing love story there with Picard, and you know, and all the people that never aged, and oh my gosh, that's a movie I can forget about forever, actually. I haven't watched a lot of Trek movies in a long time, so it was really fun, actually. Not to complain anymore. I'm gonna stop the complaining, because it was actually a lot of fun. For the amount, I did sleep through a large amount of the movies, especially the first one, the first Star Trek movie that I watched. So, other than that, though, they're good movies. I'm really making them sound terrible, and they're really not terrible. Of course, Star Trek TV shows are generally just better than the movies. So, and honestly, I like give me any original series movie over the new Abrams movies, because the new Abrams movies are the most painfully awful creations ever. And if those things don't ever stop, I'm gonna die, because I don't like anything Abrams has ever done, and I've seen a lot of stuff Abrams done, unfortunately. For instance, okay, I like things about Lost. That's as far as I get with that. Fringe is one of the worst TV shows ever, and Lost has one of the most mindlessly stupid storylines ever. Now, I like the characters in Lost, so I won't go too on about that. And Lost, I give it that. It was a blast to watch, but in that same now, it wouldn't be fair to say Lost had a brilliant storyline or anything, because Lost had a terrible storyline. Oh, Lost was like, let's just make something up, and then lead people on like we're going to explain it, and then never explain it. So Lost had a bunch of mindless things that didn't make any sense. If you want to watch it for an intelligent story, don't watch Lost. But if you want to have a lot of fun, and watch a really, really enjoyable show, go watch Lost, because it is ridiculously enjoyable. It is one of the most entertaining shows ever. It's not one of the best shows ever by any means, but it is stupendously entertaining. So just shut your mind off, don't think about the story, and enjoy the characters and the manufactured drama for that show. So, you know, that is the one thing I can touch of Abrams and not hate. Fringe is just painful. I know I have friends who just love Fringe. It is painfully bad. The new Trek movies are terrible. I'm kind of trying to blank on anything else Abrams has done right now. I try to block most of the stuff out of my mind. I have seen more than those 2 things, or 3 things. But I'm really losing it now. So, he's going to do Star Wars, and maybe he can handle Star Wars, because I love Star Wars, but Star Wars has never really been, like, the most brilliant storylines anyways. So, you know, if he doesn't make a great story for Star Trek and Star Wars, I'll get over it, right? You know, when he touches with, you know, Trek, which is, I'm going to get into a war here among fans if I say this, but I don't care. Trek is like the more thinking of the two between Star Trek and Star Wars on the movies and TV shows. I'm not saying there's not plenty of good science and stuff behind, like, if you go and read the books and stuff. There is plenty, or like the role-playing games have a lot of information on those, but there's a lot of that. But just like when you go down to like the actual television and movies, Star Wars hasn't really had any good television. I enjoy the Clone Wars, but I know that's another one of those. Yes, I know it's not that good, but don't tell me that because I want to watch it anyways. Because the Clone Wars was fun too. Yeah, but Trek. If he messes with Star Trek, I get mad because he just makes stupid action movie. And that makes me mad because Star Trek is not just stupid action movie. Of course, if you watch Star Trek 5, you might not get that same impression because Star Trek 5 was awful. But aside from that, and Star Trek 4 was too, but definitely not a stupid action movie. Now, if you want to watch like the best Star Trek, just watch Wrath of Khan because it is definitely not overhyped. It's just awesome. Like, that movie's so good. And I figured, you know, I may just had a false illusion in my mind about how great it was, and then when I watched it again, recently, I don't know, this last week, I was just like, wow, that's actually, like, one of my favorite Star Trek stories ever. It's just so good. So, anyways, Abrams is a horrible writer. The point I'm getting across here is I despise everything Abrams stands for and everything about him. And, honestly, my dream, for people to retire, would be him, George Lucas, which George Lucas is basically retired now, but him, George Lucas, who else am I thinking of, and Peter Jackson, because the Hobbit movies are terrible too. Let's not get into that though, because I'll be mad. It's like, there's no reason to mess with the Hobbit movies is the problem, because there's like, you have a great book with a brilliant story, and yet he could still somehow manage to ball it all up. Like, out of all the history Tolkien wrote, somehow Peter Jackson can screw everything up. Because Peter Jackson is awful. Oh my gosh. Now, I like The Lord of the Rings alright, but not The Hobbit. Oh my gosh. That makes me... The Hobbit makes me angry, just thinking about it, so I should probably stop now. So, we're going to run some sort of, like, cabling out through here. Like this. I don't know how this glass looks on top, but I think I'll have to deal with it just for now. So we basically do like sets of 2 like this, and that'll run like towards town if we want to ever power anything. That'll be like giant wires that run. So there we go. We built some like some cool power plant over here. So if we're over here in the town actually, and let's just kick off this rain because I'm lagging to death here because Minecraft can't seem to perform anymore at any good level. We have to do away with some trees, unfortunately. In the backyard there, because you can't really see the power plant. They're not tall enough. They kind of look like rockets, though, which is they're kind of cool looking. I like them. Well, okay. Well, there we go, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of IndieCraft. Sorry if I've been a little sounding in my mouth. I try not to open my mouth very far because it hurts pretty bad, and I just wanted to get back and do more IndieCraft. So I'm gonna try to keep up. Get with some more videos coming out this week. Hopefully. I have lots of videos to put out, but not a lot of Minecraft stuff, unfortunately. And I don't want to record too much more right now because my mouth is in a lot of pain. So, yeah. So we got a few more Minecraft things coming out, but mostly some of the other series. So if you're holding off for the Minecraft stuff, sorry about the delay. It should be back sometime in the next few days. Consistently, we'll have back for daily Minecraft. We do have Kinfolk Craft coming out, of course. And I'll try to keep pumping out as many of those as I can. We haven't recorded anymore, and Cassie's gone all weekend, so that's not going to happen. But we do have a few episodes backlogged at that. Tombstone, I can always get on and record that, though. So, anyways, IndieCraft, hopefully we'll return Monday again. So, assuming I'm not in searing pain. So, there you go, guys. Thanks all for watching. And remember to pound that like button to show your support. Subscribe to join the team. And I'll see y'all next time. So, bye-bye.